We have now reached the Q&A portion of our video.
The first question comes from @IamJamir from Instagram. What are the pros and cons of being in a relationship with someone pursuing the same career as you?
Hey Jameer, that's a really good question. I would say the biggest con would have to be comparison. They say you're not supposed to compare yourself to your friends, so especially not your significant other, but sometimes it's inevitable in certain cases. Terrell and I are in the same company, so sometimes when things don't necessarily go your way, you find yourself questioning if you were good enough or all those other, things that dig you into a mental hole. But sometimes comparison is a good thing. Sometimes you see what someone has that you don't have, or you notice what you have that someone else doesn't have. So sometimes what I do is I use that as inspiration to, better myself in a bunch of different ways. So it's a con because sometimes it can really hurt you mentally, but I find that the older we're getting and the more experienced we're getting, we're realizing that there are so many other things to worry about, and one being yourself. There's so much going on the inside that you need to explore, that you need to figure out, and I feel that when you figure all that out, you realize that there's so many other things to, give your attention to. A pro is that you get to, of course, dance with someone that you love every single day, but a pro for us specifically is that Terrell and I always worked really well together in school, and it's been really fun, exploring that outside of college and, in the professional world. I feel like we've been able to produce really good work together while in the companies. There's a new level of trust that can sometimes translate to your movement and artistry, which is something really interesting to watch.
A pro for dating someone pursuing the same career as you is that you don't have to explain to them how important the art form is to you. In a lot of relationships where they are in different career paths, they spend a lot of time trying to explain to each other how important that thing is and trying to get your partner to respect what you're doing. But in our case, I don't have to get him to respect it or even to get him to understand it, because he already does, because he loves the art form just as much as I do. On the other hand, a con would be, like Floyd said, trying to find balance between the competitiveness of the industry that we're in and also supporting your partner. When we were younger, I found it personally much more difficult to do that. But now that I'm older and we're putting it into practice and we're maturing, I'm really starting to understand it a lot more. And it's just about emphasizing that support with your partner and just trying your hardest to move away from the competitiveness.
Our next question is from City Boy Day Day on Instagram. How long does it take to edit your videos?
That really depends. Sometimes it can take as long as 2 days. It just depends on what kind of video it is. I find that editing vlogs can take much more time because there's so many parts of the day that you have to piece together and make it make sense for the audience. But when you're doing videos like this where you're sitting down, it's a little bit easier because there's already a storyline. @Christ.bc from YouTube asked, as dancers, did you take part in any performances this past year? And can we see some of your art, craft, and talent?
The answer is yes, 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 yes. We perform all the time, not right now due to the social distancing and coronavirus situation, but our company does perform a good amount. And if you'd like to see us perform, please stay tuned to our social media sites where we can update you with information on where our next performances will be. And also in the meantime, we have a lot of video projects and things coming up, so hopefully we can share that with you guys. Our next question is from Egotistic Men from Instagram. How did you guys figure out finances as a gay couple? Who pays for what? Over time, we found a way to make finances work. We pretty much try to split everything in half as much as we can. Sometimes there are days where, one may have more than the other, but we've always found a way to stay afloat. So, we're just working hard and doing as much as we can, and hopefully we'll get to a point of financial stability where we're better than we ever thought we'd be.
The next question from Whitney Brown from YouTube is, where do you both see yourself in 5 years, and do you want to have kids in the future? In 5 years, I see myself more stable, more organized, and still performing and hopefully touring the world and seeing and learning about other cultures and other kinds of people.
Yeah, I see myself still dancing and performing professionally. I also see myself sharing. I love to teach and choreograph a whole lot, so I would love to still be doing that, as well as continuing to build on my platform so that I am able to reach a wider audience and inspire more and, you know, be inspired and things like that.
And in terms of kids in the future, I mean, I think we both really love kids, so we could definitely see it somewhere in the future.
Yeah. Our next question is from Kiki Rigid Films from YouTube. What advice would you give someone who is dealing with insecurities as a dancer? The number one advice I would give is do not give up no matter what. I know some absolutely beautiful dancers that are taking the dance world by storm who started with insecurities. Some of the best dancers that I know have had insecurities and they've pushed through, and they've been someone who I really couldn't imagine the industry without. So, you know, don't ever give up and keep on pushing through and make things work for you. That's something that, you know, you'll have to pay a lot of attention to in the future. But when it comes, always, you know, try to translate things for how it works for you.
My advice to a dancer with insecurities would be to accept that you are a human being and insecurities come with being a human being. We all innately identify what's wrong with ourselves all the time. That's what we do naturally. And so that's never going to end. We're always going to constantly find things that we may not like about ourselves, but it's about finding the things that you do like about yourselves and you know, really capitalizing off of those things and using those things to really illuminate your greatness. Our next question is from Angelique Divinity.
Hey, Kiana.
From Instagram. Hey, Kiana. How do you define a power couple and how do you support one another in the same industry? For me, I would define a power couple a little differently than I feel pop culture does. I think pop culture considers a power couple this like super cool and aestheticized couple or pairing that they look good together and they sound good together and they, you know, everything just works. But I would say a power couple is in support. It's really just about supporting your partner and also taking the time to get to know yourself and taking the time to really experience things on your own while still being with your partner. And that's not an easy thing to do, but I think those things truly exhibit the qualities that I would consider in a power couple.
Yeah, I believe that the power, you know, for the power couple comes from within. Because, you know, of course, like he said, anyone can look good, you know, together from the outside. Well, not anyone, but most can look good together from the outside. But, you know, what's going on the inside and those little things that we don't give too much attention to are what tends to either make them rise or make them crumble. So another thing that I agree with is, you know, making sure that you're a whole person and your other person is a whole person so that you guys can make something even better. And I feel that a power couple is two, you know, amazing people making one amazing entity. And I feel that once that is achieved, you know, they're unstoppable. And for our final question from the.sunflower from YouTube. What's one quality you love in yourself and one quality you love in your partner? One quality I love in myself is that I care a lot for people. Sometimes that can be read as weakness, but I feel that it's a really good quality to have. And I also care a lot for what I do. I'm very passionate about art and dance and all those things, so I feel that it reads when I create and people see that. I put a lot of energy into that. One thing that I love about my partner is how genuine he is. Terrell is a very genuine person, and sometimes he's so genuine that he cannot help it. So I always know when he's lying, when he's feeling down, when something is off, because he exudes himself all the time. And you know, me being a transparent person a lot, I feel I really identify with that, and it really adds something to us.
For me, I would say one quality I love in myself is my curiosity. I'd say that I am the same curious little boy I was 15 years ago today at 23 years old. My curiosity allows me to empathize with others. It also inspires me to continue to explore the many possibilities in all of the experiences that I have daily, whether that's romantically, artistically, or even psychologically. You know, the magic is truly in the exploration. And I'd say one of the many beautiful things I love about Floyd is his clarity of intention. Usually, I know exactly why Floyd is doing what he's doing. Whether it's a positive or negative action, I usually know why, and it usually comes from a genuine place. And I say that that's something that is lacking in a lot of people that I personally meet in the world, you know, just being clear about why you're doing what you're doing and being able to identify that within yourself in order for other people to even come close to understanding who you are. And now we finally come to the end of our Black Boy Joi 1-year anniversary video. For the last segment of the video, we're going to be talking about our favorite moment from this past year. I'll go first. My favorite moment from this past year doing Black Boy Joi was probably the first video we made. We started this channel at a very interesting time in our relationship, and we were really nervous about starting the channel. We didn't know if anybody was gonna watch it, if anybody was gonna like it. We didn't even know what we were gonna do, but I mean, it really turned out to be something beautiful and magical, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to sit here and entertain you guys and talk to you guys and just have this moment together.
My favorite moment of Black Boy Joi was actually creating this video. From putting together the beginning compilation of people singing a song that, you know, we literally came up with in our living room, to having an Olympics and answering your questions and things, it made me realize how major this thing is and how major it's really becoming and how many people were inspiring and how many faces were putting smiles on. That means the absolute world to me. So, you know, having a whole year and getting to this point has really been a wonderful thing and a milestone that I don't think I'll ever forget. Thank you guys so much for joining us for Black Boy Joi's 1-year anniversary. And if you're a newcomer, welcome.
And as always, don't forget to follow,
subscribe,
comment,
and like.
And check us out on Instagram at
the Floyd Jr.
and at Terrell Rogers Jr. And you can check out Black Boy Joi on Instagram at It's Black Boy Joi.
I hear our theme song coming in, so I just want to say we love you guys. Stay tuned with us for more videos in the future, and we'll see you guys soon. Comment and like. Follow, subscribe, comment, and like Black Boy Joi. So follow, subscribe, and comment, and like.
Follow, subscribe, and comment, and like.
Follow, subscribe, and comment, and like.
And follow, subscribe, and comment, and like.
Follow, subscribe,
Comment, and like.
follow, subscribe, subscribe.
Comment and like.
Black Boy Joi.